Let me start with a trigger warning, because I'm sure what I'm about to say will shock some of you. Your mama is so ugly that they use her baby pictures as a form of birth control. I'm 12. The classmate who hurled this insult at me, her name, ironically, is Angel. And I come from a neighborhood where you learn almost every your mama joke by the time you're 6. Humor was the air we breathed, but still, it was easy for a joke to turn into a jab, for a punchline to turn into a punch. Luckily, this was not that. This was just words. Still, I ran home, tears streaming from my eyes, snot hanging off the corner of my lip, to my mama. And I said, "Do you know what they said?" Because they laughed. They said that you were ugly. Is it true? No. Then why are you crying? That hit like a riddle. I didn't get it at first, but then I realized she was not brushing the insult off. She was handing me back my power. Because my mom would say, just because someone knows how to push your buttons doesn't mean you have to hand them the remote. Please, clap if anyone has ever insulted your mama. Where you live, your name, your size. Yeah. I just want to see that you feel me, that insults do have an impact. But also, let's be real. It's like playing the greatest hits. We all know the insults. Yes, because words solidify. Yeah, they become like preset buttons on a remote control. And some insults aren't just words, are they? Nigger, whore, wetback. These are government policies. These are arrest warrants. These are death certificates. And there are those who want to eradicate all harsh words. And I get it. It would be wonderful if the world could be a safe space. But still, words do not hold meaning. We think if we remove the word from schools, from history, if we remove the word, then we remove the wound. But the word is not the wound. When I moved to Germany in 2005, let's just say I made an impact. I was Black and I was hiding in plain sight. And there were those who tried to ignore my presence. And there were those who simply stared. And there were those who let me know that I was not welcome. And I let them know that I am here to stay. Because reality is a co-creation. Reality is a negotiation. Yes, and words they have meaning, but they only have the meaning that comes from us. We give words meaning. And I have to admit sometimes to letting people push my buttons. But then I embraced humor. I became a stand-up comedian so that I could share my truth. Because sometimes when people laugh, the truth gets in. And sometimes the hardest thing to do is to laugh. Yes, I have been dealing with this, and sometimes people just don't understand. I mean, there are people who just don't get it. Let's take the N word. Now, in the US, you say the N word, and people get noticeably uncomfortable. In Germany, you say the N word, and people look at you wide-eyed. What is the N word? Oh, like nigger coos. Oh, I had such a wonderful childhood. I always wanted one more. Oh, they were so wonderful. And I spend the next hour educating someone over 400 years of oppression of people of color over a marshmallow. But what I have come to know is that you could go around the world just policing that one insult. And when you come home, you're right back where you started from. Because words don't hold meaning. We do. Meaning doesn't live in words. It lives in us. And so I ask you today if we can find a way to embrace humor so that these fossilized, archaic insults finally lose their power. These insults should not go into our future with us. It should not be the future of our children. It should not be the future of our grandchildren. Because the word is not the wound. I found that as I spoke about insults, I had to say to people that we live in a fragmented digital reality. Social media didn't just give everyone a voice. It handed out millions of universal remote controls. Yes, and someone halfway around the world in their boxer shorts on their couch can impact the way we feel. And I don't think that that is fair. I don't think that should happen. We have to uncouple these insults from the wound. And that's why I say we have to lean into humor. We have to embrace humor, laughter, comedy, because these things can shift perspective. Comedy is a professional. Comedy wants to make you laugh at your dirty laundry. But you know what? Comedy is a pressure valve. Remove it, and the pain and the pressure doesn't vanish. It mutates into rage, extremism, violence. Using humor and learning to use the tools of humor can help us to lead, to engage, to advocate, to defend. Because free speech isn't free. It's bound by history, by culture, and by our lived experience. Free speech isn't even the absence of offense. Free speech is the presence of possibility, the radical chance to speak, to be heard, and to evolve in real time. What if I had said to Angel my truth and been a stand-up communicator that day? Because in a world that seems to constantly want to press our buttons, the real power is in taking back the remote.
Really?